Welcome to Political Science 2311, an introduction to American government. Hi, my name is Michael Morris, and I'll be your instructor for this course. You know, if you are open to the possibility, I think you'll find this course not only instructive, informative, educational, but hopefully enjoyable as well. You know, I can think of no other discipline in academia that touches every aspect of your life and my life like government and the study of politics. You know, from oh snap to oh crap. The government of the United States of America touches our lives. You're probably wondering what I meant by oh snap and oh crap. Well, the Federal Communications Commission several years ago decided that certain language could not be used in prime time. Therefore, a comedian, in order to skirt it, determined that, hey, rather than say, oh, something else, I'll just say, oh, snap. And when it comes to, oh, crap, what does that mean? Well, the U.S. government determines how much water you can use when you decide to take a crap. Excuse my language, but that's what the U.S. government does. Again, they are involved in so many areas of our life. You know, we're going to be using for a textbook for this course a book called We the People by W.W. Norton Publishers. You'll find that a very easy book to read and understand as we work our way through the course. Speaking of working our way through the course, we're going to start out by looking at the very foundations of U.S. government. We'll start out by looking at some of the Enlightenment era philosophers, John Locke and Montesquieu, who influenced the founders and framers of our nation, and their influence can be found in the documents that we use in our government, going back to the Articles of Confederation, the U.S. Constitution, and even some of the amendments to the Constitution. The Enlightenment era philosophers had their stamp and their signature all over those documents. We'll go from there, and then we'll take a look at the various actors on our government. That is, those individuals and groups who seek to influence our government one way or the other. Whether it's political parties, that is, Republicans, Democrats, Independents, Reform, whatever party there may be. We'll look at them. We'll look at the various interest groups who seek to influence the direction and the policies of our governments, and that can be anywhere from the NRA to the NOW to the local HOA, Homeowners Association. There are lots of people who want to influence our government. Unfortunately, and I'll just throw this out, many of us as everyday citizens are not in the game when it comes to influencing our government. So we'll look at the various actors on our government. Then we will look at the various institutions of our government. And most of us are familiar with the legislative branch, followed by the executive branch, followed by the judiciary. But there is also what some refer to as the hidden government. And that is the bureaucracy, the various administrative agencies whose responsibility it is to implement laws and policies that are passed by the legislature. And then we will finish up this course by looking at a couple of policy areas, namely domestic policy as well as international policy. Don't have time to delve too deeply into those subjects, but we'll give you a quick overview so that you can understand a little bit more about policy. Well, hope you're ready for a study of U.S. government. Again, that's not only instructive, educational, but hopefully enjoyable as well. Enjoy the course.